I'm Rebecca.
I'm Chandler.
And I'm Amber.
And this is our case on Coca-Cola Bottling Company Consolidated. So some background information: it was founded in Greensboro, North Carolina in 1902. It merged with other bottlers in 1973 to create what is now known as Coca-Cola Bottling Company Consolidated, It was incorporated in 1980. It makes, sells, and distributes Coca-Cola products in the Southeast, Midwest, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Your purpose is to honor God in all you do, to pursue excellence, and to grow profitably. You're the largest independent Coca-Cola bottler in the United States with headquarters in Charlotte, North Carolina.
So your strategy really is to be the manufacturer, marketer, and distributor of beverages. Mainly Coca-Cola products is who you guys work with, but that's for retailers to sell to consumers. Also aim to be the low-cost provider, so providing the lowest price point for those consumers as well as mass production. For the manufacturing side of things, expansion is extremely huge for you guys. You guys have doubled in employees since, more than doubled since 2013. Also with consumer preferences changing, you guys are able to create more SKU proliferations in the manufacturing, the factories themselves. For the marketing and distribution, those kind of go hand in hand. Being able to directly distribute to those retail outlets allows you to push those marketing efforts as well. Actually in the 1990s, the Coca-Cola Company and Coke Consolidated partnered up for the Mellow Yellow 500 NASCAR race and just pushing those marketing efforts through distribution and point of purchase displays. And also this gives you guys the ability to kind of cater towards specific regions and specific areas.
So I'm going to talk about the driving forces, and these are the forces that are shaping the bottling industry. And number one is marketing innovations, and this is referring to like promotions, display in stores, the design, and just how we market to consumers is constantly changing, and this can make the competition more or less intense. Number two is technology innovations, and this is just the technology that's used throughout the industry, like the manufacturing, communication, marketing, just the processes, and this can increase or decrease an industry's profitability. Number three is changes in societal views and attitudes, and consumer views are constantly changing. Influences from the economy, state, political views, personal experiences, and even trends. And this can either increase or decrease in the market's demand. And then number four is changes in transportation and materials cost. And as gas prices fluctuate, this causes transportation costs to increase or decrease. And then for legal reasons, material costs can change as well. And this can increase or decrease the materials. And this can also increase or decrease an industry's profitability. Next, I'm going to talk about the key success factors, and these are in response to the driving forces. Number one is staying reactive to marketing changes, and this is just basically gathering and keeping up with consumer information and knowing when and where to market, and just to keep your company at a higher competitive advantage. Number two is investing in the improvements in technology, and this is in response to innovations in technology. Basically just keep up with the improvements of technology and just be more efficient. Number three is maintaining a positive brand image, and this is in response to changes in societal views and attitudes. And activities like charity work, listening to feedback from employees, customers, and actually implementing changes and stuff can improve or maintain that positive brand image. Number four is pricing the product accordingly, And this is in response to changes in transportation and materials costs. Just making sure your product is priced appropriately to overrule the cost from the transportation and material fluctuation.
All right, so we're going to talk about what we believe to be your SWOT analysis. We think that your main strength, two main strengths really are market share, just having that prevalence within the industry itself, and having those relations with so many retailers as well as those big name suppliers. Also, direct store delivery is a huge strength, just being able to execute exactly what you want throughout those marketing campaigns and through advertisements. So a weakness we did find is just kind of the struggle to find and retain labor due to the low unemployment and constant job hopping. And then also SKU proliferation. Now we did put this on both the strengths and the weaknesses. Although the SKU proliferation allows consumers to have more variety and more choice in their beverages, it does cause some manufacturing problems, just some time delays, changing out and cleaning those hoses for new flavors.
So our two main threats, one is rising cost of raw materials. So President Trump has implemented tariffs on imported steel and aluminum for Canada, Mexico, and the European Union. This has increased the price of aluminum and thus increased the price of goods made with aluminum, like soda cans. This makes your already slim profit margin even slimmer and thus make you increase the price of your product, which could make consumers angry. Another threat is decreasing demand for soda products. So sales for sodas have been steadily declining in recent years. The population is becoming more educated on the negative health effects of soda, and you make the majority of your sales with soda products. So if you don't change something, you could find yourselves having the majority of your sales in a product that consumers don't want.
So I'm going to speak on opportunities. One main opportunity is keeping up with the increasing demand of healthier beverages. And this is just taking advantage of this consumer preference change to healthier products. And then for this second big one is updating facilities to reduce downtime between changing flavors. This is just basically to improve the overall efficiency between the time between changing flavors.
So I'll be talking about the analysis of financials. So I went over the years from 2013 to 2017. So for the first ratio is return on assets. And as you can see, it stayed pretty consistent in all 5 years with an increase in 2015 and 2017. But on average, you were making about 2 cents for every dollar you have in assets. For return on equity, again, pretty stable, but it did increase all the way through. So as you can see, pretty slight increase from 2013 to 2014, big increase in 2015, small decrease in 2016, and then another increase in 2017. Overall, you made about 10 cents on equity. So in 2013, you were making 12 cents for every dollar you have in equity. And in 2017, you made 22 cents for every dollar you have in equity. Gross profit margin increased from 2013 to 2014 pretty substantially, but then it gradually decreased as the years went on. And this is probably due to the increasing material costs that y'all have been facing. Operating profit margin, now as you can see, there's quite a bit of difference all the way through. So it starts at 0.45, then goes all the way down to 2 cents, which isn't that great. Also, gross profit margin to operating profit margin starts at 40 cents and goes down to 4 cents. So this tells me that you have a lot of operating costs, which is really driving down your revenues in the end. Net profit margin, again, slight difference between operating profit and net profit margin, about 2 cents. But stayed pretty stable through the years. However, in 2017, net profit margin was actually greater than operating profit margin, and this is because you recorded a gain from exchange transactions in that year. So this is a little graph showing the trend throughout the years. As you can see, return on assets Net profit margin and operating profit margin are pretty stable here at the bottom. Return on equity definitely took a big jump, a good trend throughout the 5 years, and then gross profit margin stayed pretty stable but has been decreasing, like I said, because of material costs.
Sweet. Now we are going to talk about the strategic concerns that we believe you guys have. Varied corporate culture. Now with all of the acquisitions and constant growth within your guys' company, it has become difficult for you guys to keep that consistent corporate culture among all of the regions and areas that you guys do take over.
Our second concern is rising material costs, which we've kind of been talking about through this entire presentation. Just to get a little more specific, from 2015 to 2017, you reported an increase of $535,280, and then 2016 to 2017, an increase of $842,015. And there's a great likelihood that this will increase even further in your 2018 financials because of the tariffs that have just been placed on aluminum. This is concerning because it's driving down your gross profit margin and it drives up the price of the product. Raising prices can help maintain a profit margin, but it can also make consumers angry.
Then also inconsistent training. Right now they're training within the actual store itself with the employees that are there, and it's causing kind of other areas to focus on things that they feel is important rather than keeping that very consistent training throughout all of each location as well.
And then our fourth concern is unaligned products with consumer preferences. So previously healthy beverages were thought of as diet drinks, but however, recent studies have shown that diet drinks are just as unhealthy, if not more unhealthy, than regular soda products. And the public right now is very health conscious, so this has definitely hurt Coke. Coke does have healthy beverages, but most of your sales are in soda, so that's why this is a bit concerning.
So the fifth strategic concern is this misconception of brand image, and you guys want to be known as a beverage company because 50% of your products don't have sugar, but your sales are mainly in sodas that are known to have a lot of sugar. So
this can be concerning because there's definitely a difference between what you want and what people know.
So our first recommendation is that you guys shift your point of sales display to healthier beverage options, using more of your healthier beverage options such as Zico, Dasani water, and Core Power. For example, Zico could be displayed near coffee and juice aisles, and this can market as a substitute to sweeten consumers' coffee and even to make smoothies with. And this can encourage a healthier brand image and also respond to the consumer preference changes.
Our second recommendation for you guys is to implement this employee mentoring and development program. And basically it would just be this one cohesive unit that goes out to locations, each location to do these onboarding programs to create a more consistent culture, more consistent training among all of the regions. Now there would be two focuses of this program. It would be onboarding and retention. The onboarding side would be very focused on culture training, and then on the job kind of hands-on training. The culture training would be really focused on just kind of that God-based company that they do have, and being effective in both the business and the community. And then retention, now this is really important just because they like to promote from within. So we would like to create a company website just kind of featuring a bulletin board showing possible job openings, volunteer events, keeping the company connected and intertwined with each other. Like I said, volunteering events, company outings, and then maybe kind of doing like a weekly breakfast just to boost company morale. Also quarterly evaluations to assess their goals within the company, as well as we'd like to assess goals that they can do within the community around them. And this would just create a more consistent culture and then also increase employee morale and retention.
So our third recommendation is that you make your plastic bottles 15% thinner for non-carbonated beverages. So carbonated beverages require a thicker plastic in order to maintain carbonation, but also a thicker bottle cap as well to keep the pressure regulated, which is why we excluded them from this recommendation. However, non-carbonated beverages do not require as thick of a plastic, which is why we recommend you reduce the thickness for brands such as Powerade, Smart Water, Gold Peak, Minute Maid, Vitamin Water, Dasani, Zico, and Honest Tea. And there's a few of them displayed down here. This will definitely reduce your materials cost because you're using less plastic, but it could also reduce your carbon footprint as well. And you could kind of spin it as a green initiative to environmentally conscious consumers. I believe these days a couple main concerns for society is being environmentally friendly and being healthy, and I think those often coincide with each other and often have the same individuals in them. So by marketing to environmentally conscious consumers, you're also hitting those consumers who want healthier beverages, which is what you want to perceive in the future. So like I said, this will reduce your materials costs and strengthen your image as a beverage company. So thank you for the opportunity to present to you our case analysis of what we think, where we think your company is at today. And at this time, we'd like to open the floor for questions. Thank you.